Hey, black people.
Well, this movie has aged horribly. What's going on, everybody? It's Kata, aka Khalil Too Short, and today we are going to be discussing Black Panther 2 Electric Boogaloo, Black Panther Emotional Manipulation, Black Panther and the Unintentional Racisms, Black Panther Wakanda Forever. Now, I know I'm a little late to the party. I'm a late bloomer when it comes to YouTube and making these videos on movies and TV shows and games and things of the like, but people have been asking me to make a video on this movie ever since I talked about me not liking it not too long ago. Back in the day when this film was coming out, I, for one, was excited to watch this film because those trailers were immaculate. They were pulling at the heartstrings because we all know what happened to the late, great Chadwick Boseman, and visually, the movie looked like it was going to be excellent. And Ryan Coogler, to all of his flaws with the first movie, does know how to put a coherent story together.
Are you sure?
Or so I thought. So I was very excited to watch the movie. Hell, you can see right here, me and my girlfriend even dressed up to go to the premiere to go watch the film. So to say that I was annoyed and aggravated when I walked out of that theater watching what I just watched is an understatement. And I hadn't watched the movie since. I just had bits and pieces that I remembered that I could just always pick up on, like, yeah, that movie was trash. So today we're gonna go over the entirety of this film. I mean the whole thing. So this is going to be a doozy. Strap in, get ready. If you're doing dishes, you're mowing the lawn, you're driving to or from work, or you're just chilling on the couch or computer chair and want something to watch, this is going to be for you. Enjoy it. And before we get too deep into it, I need y'all to do 3 things for me. Like the video, share the video, and please also subscribe to the channel. We are on the road to 30K. And if you don't do all 3 of those things, that's perfectly fine, because instead of suffering through Black Panther Wakanda Forever, I'm gonna do something completely worse. I'm gonna make sure that when they recast T'Challa, they're gonna hire Hunter Schafer as his white son with the mantle of Black Panther. No, I'm not making that up. That is real Marvel comic right now, that Black Panther has a white son running around beating the shit out of black people. If you wonder why comics are in the dumps right now, there you go. But okay, all right, enough. Let's, my God, bro, I can't believe we're about to do this. Let's get into it. First of all, check this out. Y'all see my direct? I've had this for years, like for a very long time, and I've never had any reason to wear it until now, so we're doing this. Wakanda forever! Wakanda forever!
What is wrong with you?
It's gonna be one of those videos, man. Strap in. So we start the film off with the death of Black Panther. Off screen, by the way, and this whole funeral procession that they go through lasts 6 minutes. Yes, the first 6 minutes of the movie is nothing but a cheap pull of the heartstrings to try and use the real-life death of the great Chadwick Boseman to manipulate you into caring about the death of the character of Black Panther. We know the heart-shaped herb can cure any sickness and give its users superhuman abilities, so him dying to a sickness is legitimately retarded. Plus, the death is, of course, off-screen, so we have no visual tie to what's happening to him to even give us a chance to care about the stakes that he's in. Like, yes, the character was great in the 1/3 of the time that we saw him, because yes, he only had 1 full-length movie appearance, and the rest were just appearances and ensemble films. But the character is bigger than the actor. Sorry, not sorry. And the passing of Chadwick Boseman doesn't warrant killing off the Black Panther for a second time. That is one of the biggest flaws of this film. Going the route of we need to kill off the character because the actor passed away sadly due to sickness is so stupid to me. The ball keeps rolling, man. This is a staple for your franchise. Black Panther, the first movie, made over $1 billion. That is a moneymaker. He became a household name to people who didn't even know who Black Panther was. You don't just go, hey, Chadwick Boseman sadly passed away, so we're just gonna axe the character and give it to Shuri, a character that nobody really cares about when you think about it in the grand scheme of things. No, that doesn't make a lick of sense. You recast the character. There are multiple actors that you have right here. Look at this. Look at all these people that you could have that can replace Chadwick Boseman. Is it sad that he died? Yes, it very much is, but that does not stop you from keeping the ball rolling, man. The fact that you shoehorned yourself into this position where his death needed to be integral to the plot of the story fucks up the story, and you're gonna see why as we progress in this film. Oh yeah, by the way, I need you guys to understand something. It took me 6 hours to get through this film, and then the first 20 minutes it took me a good hour and a half because all of the dumb shit happens right after this funeral scene. And yes, if you're one of those people that can be emotionally manipulated by things that have nothing to do with the story and the plot and outside forces, then hell, you might have enjoyed this. Me, I saw this and immediately rolled my eyes so far in the back of my head, I can see the monkey with the drums in my brain. So we cut to 1 year later, and of course, the Wakandans have gone back on the word of their late great dead king about helping the rest of the world through aid, which would require vibranium because that's what they use for literally everything from their weapons down to the clothes that they wear. These representatives of countries are talking about how Wakanda hoarding all of the vibranium is a threat to national security because it doesn't go off on any metal detectors. It can be made to make weapons of mass destruction. Hell, it was made to do so in Age of Ultron. So of course, all the governments in the world saying, hey, they're reneging on the deal that they made. That is a valid concern, especially when you have an emotional woman that just lost her husband and her son in the span of a few years. Of course, everybody's gonna be like, wait a minute now, why aren't they helping anyone? And it also makes the whole feel bad for Chadwick Boseman, aka Black Panther death, even more dumb because you're going back on the very thing he spent his whole first movie doing. He had an entire character arc to undo the unjust thing that his father had did with his cousin in T'Chaka, aka Killmonger, and at the end of that film said that he was going to help the rest of the world. Hell, when Thanos showed up, he risked everything that he could to have everyone go to Wakanda so that they can fight off the alien invasion. He did all these things to sacrifice, and you're just gonna spit in the face of that legacy because, well, it's always been Wakanda's policy and blah blah blah. Shut up, Angela Bassett.
Shut up, silly woman.
Going back on that is a literal slap in the face to the legacy of the character you're trying so hard to make us feel like these characters care about. Also, Queen Ramonda being mad that the governments of the world are trying to get vibranium through other means, even if that includes violence, makes no sense because the only reason they're doing that is because your emotional ass went back on the word of your former king and son. Wait a minute, them attacking the Wakandan Outreach Center is also stupid because you know they have vibranium and the most overpowered characters in all of existence, the Dora Milaje, so attacking that facility is just outright foolish.
Almost as stupid as a stupid does.
There's going to be a lot of that in this film where the writing of this story and the decisions that the characters make just make my fucking balls itch. Also, I just said a little while ago that the planet got attacked by a genocidal alien not too long ago, and that alien killed half of the population, which also includes Wakanda and your king. So wouldn't it be in the best interest of Wakanda to work with the other governments to help protect the planet, because that would in turn be them protecting their own citizens? We're not even 10 minutes into this shit. And then to put the cherry on top of the shit cupcake, they then end this whole thing with bringing in the mercenaries that they got from the outreach center and then threatening the rest of the world like, you keep coming for us, we're gonna go to war. All that's gonna do is make the rest of the world go, oh, these people are a threat. We need to be prepared to fight against them. That is counterintuitive to anything that you're trying to do.
Hey!
They said that machine had a 1 in a billion chance of finding vibranium.
Oh, less than that.
What?
They said that machine had a 1 in a billion chance of finding vibranium.
Oh, less than that.
Huh?
Wait. This is the first time I'm watching the film ever since the theater. I completely forgot about this. So you're telling me that the vibranium detector that we later find out was made by criminal mastermind Riri Williams herself only has a 1 in 1 billionth chance, wait, even less than that, of finding vibranium?
Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Are you out of your mind?
How the fuck did she even make this device to detect vibranium if the odds are that low? And if the odds were that low, then the governments of the world would just laugh in her face because this isn't an adequate enough machine in order for them to put money into it. Are we being fucking serious here? If I made something for school that was supposed to be a success and it only had a 1 in 1 billion chance of succeeding, then I'd get an F minus 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 minus. But no, Riri Williams gets a scholarship to MIT. Don't worry, we're gonna talk more about her. Oh, you criminal mastermind, you.
Oh, me. Vibranium in the ocean.
Oh, so the 1 in 1 billion chance detector did in fact find vibranium. My bad, I forgot stupid shit has to happen in order for the plot to happen. Like, they literally could have just said it has any other percentage above 80 to find vibranium, and I wouldn't be this annoyed. Would it still be dumb she created it without anything to test it on? Sure, but I could at least suspend my disbelief if the information about said detector wasn't so fucking stupid. And this is when our cast of no-names get attacked by the not Atlanteans. They're doing a mermaid-style attack to make individuals jump off of a ship and drown themselves. And of course, our POV characters have earbuds to prevent just this such attack because fucking reasons, dog. Wait, so are these niggas bulletproof, or did she just shoot him in his armor plating so that he could get aura farming points or something? Oh no, she just intentionally shot the forgettable name antagonist for aura farming points. I can't, how far into this are we? 17 minutes, Jesus. And then we get a nice little dark shot of Namor. Don't worry, we're gonna talk about him later when he shows up. You see how he just host slammed these people right into the ocean and killed them without mercy? That is crazy. It's definitely not like that's something that I'm gonna keep bringing up time and time again, how this individual clearly doesn't care if people see or know about him in this world because he's just killing them like they're nothing. But now it's time for my second favorite part of the film. I'm saying second for a reason because my favorite will come up later. The Wakandans, the most advanced civilization on the surface of this planet. The people who could cure diseases and stop famines and even could have stopped the transatlantic slave trade. The best way for them to get into their country is to have a shield wall that can only be deactivated by niggas beating on water like it's a drum set.
That's gotta be racist. There's no way. I'm gonna just keep it real. There's no way that is like of our culture.
Now, I get it. They want to try and pander to niggas and Africans by showing some kind of culture with them still wearing dashikis and robes and shit and having thatch on vibranium skyscrapers. But you're fucking telling me that a country this advanced is leaving the activation of a shield wall in which hit will destroy anything that it touches to a couple of niggas with rhythm? What if one of them just happens to be a little offbeat? Because, you know, that tends to happen on occasion, and the fucking shield doesn't open in time for whoever is pulling up and they die. A civilization this advanced would never leave something like that up to chance just because they want to stick to their ancestral roots. But then again, this is the same country that decides the leader of said country through trial by combat, so I don't even know why I'm thinking too hard about this. And it's like they don't even understand how unintentionally racist you have to be to have black people beating on drums in front of a DJ booth style console right in front of them. Like, you literally cannot make this shit up. All the jokes that I want to throw out, I don't even have to because they're doing it right for me. And this isn't the last time some unintentional racism will happen in this movie, by the way, but don't worry, we'll definitely talk about that later.
I was trying to tell you, the Queen is here.
Thank you. That thing unnerves me. I think that one day artificial intelligence is going to kill us all.
Why are you saying this unironically like 10 plus years ago and AI didn't quite literally try to destroy the whole planet after spending less than a minute on the internet? But this part right here is one of the bright spots of the film where they actually do try to do some kind of character work, where Shuri is so torn about not being able to save her brother that she dives deep into her work and foregoes tradition in order for something like that to never happen again. again, I get it, and throughout the film, I'm sure they're going to continue to hit on that and show her that isolation and not giving yourself time to grieve is not a good thing to do, and that trying to go for vengeance is not the route that you want to go. Surely that's not going to pop up 3 or 4 times and she just completely ignores it until the plot deems that she doesn't have to anymore. Surely that's not what's going to happen.
It involves you taking your mother for a drive right now. And you can leave your Komoyo beads here.
Mother.
No, you won't need them where we are going.
Yeah, man, I just don't think the Queen of Wakanda and her child not being able to be contacted in any way is the smartest thing to do when a day earlier, it was shown that governments of the world are looking to get their hands on your vibranium. It will do whatever it takes to do so. But if we don't do this, then the rest of the plot can't happen, so characters have to be stupid. Yay!
Then I did this ritual that I am about to show you now. I found your brother in the breeze, like his hand on my shoulder.
He wasn't there, Mother. The presence that you felt was just a construct of your mind, brought on so you could feel some comfort or joy.
Yeah, I feel like her character in this scene doesn't make sense in the context of this world. Like, they keep trying to show that she's smarter than everybody else to the point where she doesn't believe in the ancestral plane and all the mythical mumbo-jumbo bullshit that they keep talking about. But it's been quite literally shown multiple times in these movies that that is something that is real. I don't think that she would just go, yeah, this is a figment of your imagination. The society you live in can use a thing called the heart-shaped herb, or they could have before Killmonger, and literally contact their ancestors. So her acting like that's not something that's real or choosing not to believe so, I just don't buy it. It's just artificial character work that doesn't make sense. Also, this entire scene is dark as shit. Like, I felt like I was rewatching season 8 of Game of Thrones watching this. Oh my god, look, it's Namor. We can barely see him because it's dark as hell. Hold on, let me put the brightness up or something. I'm guessing Jimmy Fallon's band wasn't guarding the gate around this time, so he was just able to swim under it. And him just being able to swim under a force field makes the whole point of a force field even more dumb if it doesn't go through water. But now we have Namor, who has just been introduced into the film, the dumbest antagonist to ever be introduced into the MCU. Someone so contradictory and retarded that it really made my brain itch, and I could feel the steam coming out of my ears as I watched this movie. We're gonna get more into that as we go through this film, but my god, his motivations and everything that he does quite literally don't make any sense, but we're gonna get into it. But talking about Namor, the first change that they did to Namor is so on the nose forced representation that it actually makes me laugh when I think about it. They changed his entire name, look, race, and civilization because Victoria Alonso wanted the Spanish fans to feel represented. And no, I'm not joking. Here's her talking about the meaning of his name and why they did it and other things about Namor.
What has it meant for you all to be such pioneers and so many people now feel so included in the MCU? What has that meant for you to be able to create projects where people feel themselves represented?
Well, we always say that is part of our growth and our global success is to have everyone, all eyes watching. So all eyes watching means that we can represent most, not all yet, but most. And we will continue to do that. And together we continue to say it's not something that we do because it's a political move, but it's because it's really good for the story.
Flashback.
And we get to hear him in his native tongue in Mayan, and we get to hear him in Spanish. I mean, it's you know, for a lot of us, it's a dream come true. We've been waiting a long time to see us and to feel represented.
Hey, ain't nobody trying to hear that bullshit, man.
No, Namor. I keep joking. Namor
is over there.
I know we talked to him already.
El niño sin amor. Por eso le dicen Namor.
¿En serio?
El niño que creció sin amor. Namor.
You keep using the word. I don't think it means what you think it means.
Who are you?
I have many names. My people call me Kukumkan, but my enemies call me Namor.
A cuckoo-gun, a cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Nigga, your name is Namor. His mama named him Namor, I'ma call him Namor. Also, if his enemies call him Namor, how does an organization like, I don't know, SHIELD, SWORD, the US government, the CIA, all these other things, not know of his existence? Hell, how does Wakanda have no idea of his existence? Wait, if his nation is also isolationist and no one knows they exist, how does he even have enemies to begin with?
Don't ask questions. Just consume product and then get excited for next product.
But he threatens them and says if they don't bring him the MacGuffin, which is Queen Riri Williams herself, then he's going to attack Wakanda. Yeah, very smart of you to just go into a foreign land and say, hey, do what I want or I'm going to start blowing your shit up. Surely that's not going to have an adverse effect and make the people that you want to work with not want to work with you or anything like that. Surely. Wait a minute, you're telling me that this dude had an entire speech, jump back into the river, and somehow someone was able to place that silently while these two were on guard with no noise at all?
Sure, Jan.
Oh my God, it's M'Baku, the best character in the entire film. He is here to save us from these charisma vacuums that you want to call actors. Not Angela Bassett. She does a very good job throughout this film, and I'm going to be glazing her throughout the rest of this video because she does a tremendous job. I got to give her props.
If my soldiers were present, this fishman would be bound before us as we speak.
If your muscle brains were present, they would still be there, choking on their fuzzy adornments.
You bald-headed demon.
That was fucking hilarious, man. I'm sorry. I love M'Baku. He is the one bright spot in this crap fest. Plus, he's right. If your entire point as a tribe is to guard the river border and you fail to do so with the most powerful technology on the planet, then you should feel ashamed. Niggas making monkey noises while M'Baku's hero name in the comics is Man-Ape. The unintentional racism just continues to flow through this script, dude. Ryan Coogler, my guy, you need a blunt or something, nigga. Who hurt you?
He wants us to deliver one American scientist so he can kill them.
We never had to face an enemy with access to vibranium before, and we have no Black Panther to protect us.
That is because this wise council allowed Killmonger to take the throne.
And again, M'Baku coming in with facts, which makes the previous film even more dumb. There's no reality where a civilization this advanced would still be choosing its leaders through trial by combat. That is literally the worst way to go about things, because what if you get someone who is just the better fighter, but they're unhinged and not fit to lead a country? You know, like Killmonger. And also, to be a country so proud of its roots and protecting their heritage, there's no way they would just burn the heart-shaped herbs. That is something that has been around for thousands of years. Getting rid of that would be the hard line they would have to draw with this civilization, along with exposing themselves to the rest of the world and declaring genocide on the rest of the planet. And wait, why in the name of best is there only one field of heart-shaped herbs? That doesn't sound productive or safe. Also, what's to stop someone from just sneaking in and taking it to be a new Black Panther? Why did...
Whoa, calm down, Jamal. Don't pull out the 9.
Oh my God, I'm starting to think about the first Black Panther movie. Let me stop getting sidetracked because there's a lot of shit in that movie as well that just completely falls apart. Let's get back to what we were doing.
If we do what he is asking for now, what is to stop him from coming back and asking for more?
Again, M'Baku coming in with more facts. Once you give somebody an inch, they're gonna take a mile. So if you do exactly what it is that he's saying you should do, then what's to stop him from coming back and doing more?
I don't know. This thing can detect the altered frequency of vibranium through water, stones, even heavy metals. Whoever built this is brilliant. Custom parts, and others look like they gathered it from a junkyard.
Yes, Shuri, please do explain how someone with no knowledge of vibranium or access to test it on was able to make a detector from junkyard parts.
It was more than one meteorite. Our planet is covered of mostly water, so it's reasonable that the other one just landed there.
Yeah, I just don't think that the smartest civilization on the planet and the only ones with vibranium would just be like, oh, we're the only ones with vibranium. Let's not look throughout the rest of the planet to see if there's some anywhere else. And if they are as advanced as they keep saying they are, they would have detected the fact that there was more vibranium in the Atlantic Ocean. It's not just something that they wouldn't know about.
Hold up. Wait a minute. Something ain't right.
You know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, let me look it up real quick, because in Iron Man 2, when they had that little Easter egg with all the different civilizations in the background, when Nick Fury was talking to Tony Stark, was there a dot there for Atlantis? Let me check real quick. Oh my God.
Boy, ain't no fucking way, boy.
Boy, ain't no way, boy.
There's literally a dot right there. Get the fuck out of here, dog. I'm about to get upset. You already established 10 plus, almost 15 years ago through Easter eggs that Atlantis is something that S.H.I.E.L.D. has known about. So if they have known about Atlantis, aka Telecon, for this long, they would have known that these individuals had access to vibranium. And if they would have known that they had access to vibranium, then the Wakandans would have known, because they're the smartest civilization on the planet and they just know magically everything. So why are we even in this predicament in the fucking first place? God damn it. Am I the only one with a working brain here? Please, someone tell me.
Eyes closed. It's not the Americans that I'm worried about. It's Namor.
Oop, chill out, Queen Ramonda. You didn't say his name right. Not very woke of you, my dear.
He snuck past our defenses.
And yes, he snuck past your defenses, going straight through the river, under the water, and nobody detected him. So surely you're gonna put safeguards in place to make sure that something like that doesn't happen again, and we don't have a fight near the second half of the film where all the not Atlanteans sneak into the country again and start killing folks. Surely the smartest civilization on the planet will not have something like that happen. Surely that's not what's gonna happen.
So, when are we leaving so I can see my favorite colonizer?
They keep using the word colonizer for white people when didn't they have a whole story for how their nation came to be colonized and dominated by the first Black Panther? Plus the rest of the continent they live on has tribes and militias that do the exact same thing. I mean, I get it. It's supposed to be he's white and American and they colonize America. They're colonizers. But when you think about it, it just makes no sense other than to just give a pet name to white people. It's just weird, and it just doesn't make much sense in the context of things that happen in this world. But sure, Ryan, you know, you always have to have some kind of racial undertones with anything that you do. So good job, buddy. I don't know.
We are looking for the scientists to build the vibranium detector.
So it was you guys in the Atlantic?
What happened?
Seriously?
No, seriously, how do you not know they weren't Wakandan Bilbo Baggins? The colonizer that Namor Hulk slammed into the ocean put on the comms that they weren't Wakandan and that the people attacking them were blue.
Where is the strike team? It wasn't Wakandans, they were blue.
Surely they have a record of that and would also have footage of the fake Atlanteans attacking said ship, unless the other ethno-state Telecon, aka fake Atlantis, that we see later with people living like they're 15th century Aztecs, has the capability of stopping that from happening. No, surely these tribal individuals that we see later on in the film do not have the capability to do things like that. I just refuse to believe it. They're over here playing ancient Aztec ball and shit like that, and you're telling me they know how to scrub a security system? I just don't believe it.
Believe it.
And wait a minute, if these were your friends that got killed and you personally know the Wakandans because you fought alongside them in your Civil War, why didn't you just, I don't know, ask them if they did it?
No way.
They would have no reason to lie to you given that they have shown how arrogant they are, and they'd probably boast at the fact that they did it in the first place. Seems like you really didn't care about them too much if you ask me, for real, but whatever.
It's imperative that we get to the scientists before anything else happens. You owe me, Ross. You owe my brother.
He doesn't owe you. If anything, you owe him because he's the reason weapons didn't leave Wakanda and entire nations didn't fall and collapse. And if it's because you saved his life with a magical vibranium that can do whatever the plot requires you to do, then again, that is already square because of the previous statement. So if you're just doing this to hang it over his head as emotional manipulation because King T'Challa is dead and he helped save his life, that makes you kind of a bitch if you ask me. It's just nothing but more emotional manipulation. Kind of like the marketing of this film, by the way. But I digress.
Hey. You forgot to Venmo me.
800, right?
800 was yesterday's price. It's a band today.
Hey, look, it's the character that would rather hustle people for nickels and dimes instead of selling her genius inventions for millions of dollars. It's criminal mastermind, maniacal killer Riri Williams.
Your girlfriend be bigger than Jobs. Right. Bigger than Gates. Right. Bigger than Pim. Right. Bigger than Stark. Yeah. Come on.
Yes, Queen, slay!
Hey, we love Queen Riri over here on this channel, okay? Because of her, we got a lot of exposure and a lot of people found the channel for the first time. So shout out to her and her arrogance. And if you haven't liked and subscribed already, What are you doing? But anyway, before we continue, I need to let you guys know that throughout this entire film, she is the literal definition of a MacGuffin. A MacGuffin is an object or device that serves merely as a trigger for the plot, usually something that is kept in possession of the main character of the film to again move the plot along. With Riri, she is exactly that. They move her from points A through Z with little to no characterization for her other than
Young, gifted, and black, though, right?
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
and then she puts in little jokey jokes here and there to try to break the ice and be like the fly on the wall for the audience with all this cool technology for all of these smart civilizations that aren't that smart. The whole plot is just trying to capture her, and if she wasn't in the movie and it was just about getting a hold of a vibranium detecting device, little would change about this story. Oh, except maybe these cops would have survived her slaughter.
I've got it from here.
Wait, maybe I should speak with her. It will be more discreet.
It can be discreet. Is it the makeup?
No.
It's the wrong shade, isn't it?
It's the right shade. 2440, you look good.
Oh yes, get that Marvel humor in. That's not funny. God bless.
I'm here by the vibranium detector that you built for the CIA.
Nah, I ain't built no detector for no CIA. I made that for my metallurgy class.
What did you say, nigga?
So you're telling me you made this genius invention that again could be sold for literal billions of dollars and had no idea where it went after you finished your fucking school project?
Are you retarded?
This is the most valuable invention on the planet that can find the most valuable metal on the planet, and you just said,
Whoop de doo.
It went on your merry way to hustle kids out of $800?
To be young, gifted, and black, though, right?
This is what I mean by trying to pass off someone as smart, but then you look at the decisions they're making and it's utterly stupid. Because if she and the CIA were smart, there wouldn't be just one vibranium detector and she wouldn't just be at MIT. They would have hired her on, gave her all the resources she needed in order to make a new one, refined the percentage of accuracy so that it's not 1 in 1 billionth of a chance, use set blueprints to build more detectors and find more vibranium. Riri would be rich and the US government would have a chokehold on vibranium detection. But say it with me, if that were to happen, then the plot couldn't move forward. So characters must be dumb to be dumb. There are so many other ways you could have told this story, but the genius dumbass kid misplaces a vibranium detector couldn't be more of a stupid way for you to go. My God, like people actually like this film, like they go around saying this is a good movie and it's one of the best MCU projects that they've ever seen when we're only 37 minutes into the film and my brain is on fire trying to understand how these characters are being presented as the smartest individuals on the planet, but they're fucking retarded. Like, is the bar that low? Have you been fed slop for so long that pretty colors and niggas is gonna make you go, man, this is such a good movie? Pay attention to the things that you're watching. Have some self-respect and a higher standard of viewing for yourself, because not only are you spending money on these things, you're spending your most valuable resource, which is your time. And if your time is being wasted with dumbass shit, then stop watching it and call it out. And I'm wearing a sweater with a ring light and I'm fucking cooking. All right, let's keep going.
I am going to give you 2 options. You can come to Wakanda, conscious or unconscious.
You need to be conscious of the way that you look. Walking around here with that ash on your head.
That's actually hilarious.
Hey, listen, Queen Riri, any chance that we get to make fun of this bald-headed demon who betrayed her country and let an outsider plunge her country into civil war is all right with me. Can't believe I'm saying this, but Riri, you finally did something positive. Good job, you murdering criminal mastermind, you. And we're still just gonna skip over the fact that these people illegally entered into the United States and are kidnapping a citizen of said country in order for them to get whatever it is that they want to have. Okay, I guess rules for thee, not for me. Wakanda can just do whatever the fuck they want. Nobody can go into their country, but they can just dive into anybody's country.
What exactly is this place?
I fixed a few trucks for the head of sanitation. He lets me work out of this garage in exchange.
So just wait 1 second, okay? This is a warehouse for the sanitation department of the city you live in. I've done warehouse work. I was in the military, and that is kind of my background. So I know that regardless of how unused a warehouse might be by whatever company or department, it would still have to go through maintenance and, most importantly, inspections. Especially with all the power usage coming from this warehouse, with all the shit you got going on, they would have had to see what was going on here. And you just leave all of your highly sensitive material just lying around here alongside a fucking Iron Man suit. No special encryption to get into the door, no security systems or nothing, just a fucking key.
Stupid as a stupid does.
Remember guys, this is supposed to be a genius.
So, the design for the machine is on that laptop.
Yeah.
And you just leave it on a desk in a car garage.
Oh, my bad. The characters acknowledge how stupid it is, but because she is a genius, in quotations, that can make a security system for a laptop, that just makes leaving everything lying around okay?
Sure, Jan.
Not like this girl created a vibranium detector and the CIA would have ransacked this place and got that laptop in order to find out how she did it or anything like that, and had all these kind of smart individuals out there in the world trying to crack this laptop to get those blueprints. But sure, genius. They didn't get surrounded by the FBI because, of course, illegally entering into a country and trying to extort a citizen from said country would obviously draw the attention of that country's government, especially after Ross said they were watching her like a hawk.
She's watching me like a hawk. You gotta be fast. The US needs another machine, and this kid is the only person in the world who knows how to build one. So they're coming for her.
Wait, so they've been watching her this whole time and still haven't broken into this non-guarded warehouse to get the laptop with the vibranium detector designs on it? But then we go into our chase scene that is just fine, you know. They have Riri spit out some mumbo jumbo to pretend she's smart so that she can do some math calculations that they're just spitting out to drone strike these cops just sitting here doing their job. Never change, Riri, you psychopath, you. And the illegal Wakandans are just cool with it. They're hitting wheelies and shit and having a good time. Yes, murder, murder, murder. This is so good. A little bit of karma on that ass. Now, this part is extra stupid because the whole point of Namor sending the Wakandans to get Riri is so that no one can know who the fake Atlanteans are. So if you're just gonna renege on the deal and do it yourself when they basically got away scot-free, then what was the point in sending them in the first place? You just destroyed your entire reason for showing up in Wakanda because now all of the world knows you exist due to these cop cars that are recording. But they'll never explain how the cop cars didn't record, or none of the drones around, or security cams, or anything. So why am I putting more effort into this than they did? Let's just move the fuck on. Gotta love fight scenes where people get stabbed and there's no visible blood on anything. That just really irks me, and it's not just a criticism I levy at this film, by the way, because the first one did it too, with a neck slice of all things. But now it's time for a good old-fashioned fight scene where a bald-headed demon promptly gets her ass whooped and the MacGuffin and Shuri are taken away.
Oh no! Anyway.
You got any witnesses? None. But we think it was the Wakandans.
Oh yeah, even though you have the ship attack and these two cop cars with recording footage, you still think it's the Wakandans because plot and movie are stupid.
Director DeFontaine?
Really?
Also, y'all remember when she was popping up in everything post-Endgame and they were trying to build her up as the female villain Nick Fury and no one cared in the slightest and it led to literally nothing? I do.
We think someone involved got rid of the vehicles.
It's got an MIT sticker on it. Hey, Ross, you got a full tank of gas? Can you give me a ride?
Nah, man, eat my entire ass. There's no way they did an entire crime scene and just missed the magical anal bead sitting there on the ground. Like, there's no way that happened. Surely there's not a character that happened to place that there in the hopes that Bilbo Baggins would see it. Surely this movie is not that stupid.
You will be stripped of your rank as general of Wakanda's armies and your status as Dora Milaje.
I mean, she's being a bit dramatic Don't you think? Like, Okoye may be annoying, but she is legit the best fighter you have. If someone was able to beat her, that is a cause for concern. You don't just throw away your best asset because you're having a temper tantrum over things out of someone's control. She got jumped, and this enemy is unknown to you, but not to Okoye. So wouldn't you want her around with the experience she had, going blow to blow with them? Well, no, you see, it's because Queen Ramonda's husband is dead, and she's upset about things, so she gets to take it out on Okoye. Clear example as to why you can't have a woman in this kind of position, man. Sorry, not sorry, because one day they're good, and then the next day they're PMS and firing their top general because she got jumped.
Not a great plan.
But seriously though, even though this is a stupid scene, Angela Bassett is just a force, man. Like, every scene she is in, you actually feel like there is acting happening on the screen. She's way too great of an actress to have to deal with a script this bad.
Griot,
Yes, my queen.
were you with Shuri when she was abducted?
I was.
Are you able to track her Kamoyo beads?
Yes, tracking the bead should have been the first thing you did when you found out she was taken, instead of giving us this dumbass gathering scene so that you could scold Okoye for getting her ass beat. Ross still not knowing what's going on is irking me, but I guess we just have to accept the fact that the Mayan fake Atlanteans are just smarter somehow. But Ramonda's still not telling Ross what's going on, even though the fake Atlanteans have already revealed themselves. Doesn't make any sense. Namor has already shown he went back on his word about y'all capturing Riri Williams and is willing to show himself, so there's no obligation to not tell Ross what is going on, especially since at this rate they're just gonna find out anyway. For fuck's sake. Oh yeah, by the way, they don't find out somehow, some way, with all the bullshit that happens in this film, they still do not find out about the Atlanteans. Your guess is as good as mine as to how that happens with all the surveillance that happens on this planet, and especially in this cinematic universe. There's just no fucking way they wouldn't know, especially after we just showed you earlier with Iron Man 2 that S.H.I.E.L.D. already knew, but whatever. So they have to go to the last known location of Shuri and Riri. So Queen Ramonda has to go back and find my God, bro. Lupita is just so... Fuck, man. How could you not love black women, boy? Golly. But anyway, Queen Ramonda enlists her to find Shuri, and she's the best word dog. So she's gonna do that lickety split. Like, I mean, in less than a fucking day, she's gonna go from bing, bang, bop, and she's right where she needs to go. At this point, I still didn't understand why Namor would allow them to be captured and not would have just killed Riri Williams or Shuri for that fact. But we find out later what his plan is, and it is the dumbest thing that you could think of, but we're just gonna let it go. We're gonna let it go. We'll save that for later.
That is some super villain shit right there. That's in every movie. Princess Leia, Belle from Beauty and the Beast, that white chick from Indiana Jones.
Hey, look, Riri made another jokey joke, and she's using all Disney properties. So clever. You guys are so smart. Also, if Star Wars is canon in this universe, how do they explain the fact that Jane Foster looks exactly like Princess Amidala and Mace Windu looks exactly like Nick Fury?
Don't ask questions. Just consume product and then get excited for next product.
But then we get an explanation of Namor and his past and how his mother, who was Mayan, was driven out by the Spanish conquistadors. They brought the smallpox with them, so in order for our child sacrificing enslaving Mayans to heal, they get a vision of where some vibranium is. They take the magical vibranium plant that somehow is able to grow out of it under the water, mind you, and turn it into a drink that transforms them into fish people, where they leave to go settle in the ocean.
It's pretty difficult to put into words how disgusted I am, how depressed I am.
Yes, it quite literally is that stupid.
Wings on my ankles and ears that pointed to the clouds. I was a mutant.
I might be mistaken, but this is the second time in the MCU that they use the word mutant, right? The first time was in that show that nobody watched called Miss Marvel, that they tried to act like was one of the best shows of all time. But anyway, no idea why they tried to build to that, because it just convolutes an already convoluted universe, because if there are mutants, there's a Professor X and a Magneto. And where the fuck have the X-Men been ever since everything in the MCU has been going down?
My mother mourned the life on land that she once knew. She made me a promise to bury her in the soil of her homeland and could prepare me for what I found there.
Boy, that escalated quickly.
I say this as genuinely as I can, and I mean this with all sincerity. I do not understand why he is so hateful that there are people with slaves on the land his mother came from. Like, forget how a modern writer would feel about this. For him, for Namor, his people were Mayans. They had slaves of their own and would have seen this as a part of their culture, not to mention the fact that they were killing other tribes as much as they could and were sacrificing people to gods. It wasn't cruel or evil to them at the time, mind you. That was just the way the world worked for them. So if he walked up and saw them there, what would make him so angry that he decides to destroy the entire place? Is it because there's a house there? People he doesn't recognize? It just doesn't make any sense for him to be this hateful and in turn earn his made-up version of his comic name.
Spanish man of May cursed me as he died by my hand. El niño sin amor. The child without love.
It's just a poor attempt of going slavery bad. Like, yes, we get that, but why would he be so angry about what's happening on the surface right here? It does not affect him in the slightest, especially given the context of the people that his mother comes from. Like, he crashed out bad. For what fucking reason? It doesn't make any sense.
I'd love to see your nation.
Well, you can go down there in that. Hypothermia will leave you almost instantaneously. Or you can wear a suit. We have some of them. Come on.
What the actual fuck? So they are advanced enough to understand these numerous technologies, even though what we see literal moments later is them living like it's still the 15th century. So I guess they have just been wiping the footage and scrambling feeds or whatever they've been doing, which begs the question, Ryan Kyle Coogler, why didn't you just show that to us as the audience so we're not just left guessing why the CIA and all these other individuals have no idea what is happening? It would have been a very simple scene and a quick fix. You go, hey, look at that. They're scrambling the feed. They're deleting the footage. Oh, these individuals are that smart. Now we're not going, oh, the CIA are the dumbasses because they can't figure out what's happening. And also, you have to show them with more technology in the place that they live at than just a bazaar and them riding around on whales. Because if I'm seeing this, I'm left guessing, how do they have the technology to make a suit to go down to the depths but still live like this? And wait, why in all of the names of the gods would they have suits for people to travel to a civilization they want no one to know about?
I haven't got time for this Mickey Mouse bullshit!
Like, is it me? Am I the one thinking too hard here? And look, there's even a fucking camera on it!
God damn it! You can't make this shit up!
And oh yeah, they have their own cool greeting symbol, just like the Wakandans, because you can't be an isolationist nation without having your own cool secret little greeting. And remember where I said Nakia was gonna find exactly where they were? She was damn near on the exact same beach that they were on when they left out to go into the ocean and found them lickety split, because they're just the best characters in all of creation. They have no faults, no roadblocks when it comes to being smart in quotations. They can just do shit.
You are the first person from the surface to come to Talocan.
I'm going to lose my mind. If she's the first person to ever visit Talocan, then how in the holy fuck did you just have a suit on standby to take her down there? And you're saying you have suits, plural, which means you must have done this before, right?
Give a nigga a break. Give a nigga a break. How much more can I take? Give a nigga a break.
This is why it's important to rewatch and get a fresh perspective, because I completely forgot about this. This is dumber than I ever could have imagined. They try to do some more character work, but end up doing more of that emotional manipulation.
I lost my brother. Just felt different. He suffered in silence.
Because Chadwick Boseman in his real life didn't tell anybody about the sickness that he was dealing with. So this is them intertwining real life with the fake universe that they're creating, which is a detriment to the story, because now you're taking me out of the film and I'm thinking about the real actor, and it makes what you're trying to do in the film feel cheap. Like, I know you're trying to do it as an homage to him. I totally get that, but it just comes off as cheap to me.
The surface nation have conquered and enslaved people like us.
Oh boy. Here we go.
That doesn't work with these characters, my nigga. Like, the Wakandans and the Talokan fake Atlanteans are the most powerful civilizations on the planet. They have the technology and the power to stop all of this oppressive stuff that they're complaining about, but they chose not to and let everyone else suffer while they succeeded in life. So you can't try to sit here and try to paint these motherfuckers as victims when they had the power to stop everything that you're saying they're complaining about. That doesn't make any sense here, man. And it also doesn't make any sense that he's going back on his entire motivation from the beginning. It was, oh, we need to stop the scientists, you know, we need to do this. And now you're saying it's no longer about the scientists. We just need to start killing niggas so they don't come to us. Like what if you're trying to protect your civilization and you don't want anyone to know where you're at? Why would you then go, well, I'm about to just go out and start fighting people, bro. And hey, we want your help, Wakanda, because we're oppressed. Wakanda forever, Talokan forever. Like, what the fuck are we doing here, man? But at least now we know why he left Shuri alive. He wanted a alliance at the last second, because clearly this was not his motivation through the first half of the goddamn film. Again, contradictory, and he's just doing things just to do them. Like,
You said you wanted to burn the world. Let us burn it together.
No, that's not what she said. She didn't say that she wants to burn the world. She said when she sits down and thinks about her brother through grief and anger, it's not the clothes that she'll burn, it's the world. A metaphorical speak on her emotions about how angry she is that she wasn't able to save her brother. And Shuri clearly knows that, so she shouldn't be getting manipulated by him in this manner. It doesn't make any sense. Take a shot every time I say this doesn't make any sense, by the way.
The Wakandans were recruiting her as part of their outreach program, nothing more. And then you guys send in a SWAT team under cover of night to arrest the crown princess of an international superpower.
Ross, my nigga in Christ, Wakanda cannot just illegally enter into countries and take their citizens without permission. Of course they would send authorities to arrest all these people. Are you kidding me? Why is no one in the room pushing back against this? I'm not even gonna try to pretend to understand how that works. Again, props to Ryan though for at least shooting on location and giving this movie a real feeling in a lot of scenes. So many Marvel movies have that fake and plastic feel because of the volume and shit like that. So it is a breath of fresh air to see your scenes on site location. Like, that's very nice. It's a good touch. But then we get right back to the dumbassery, because why is Namor going so hard against her telling the rest of the world when 2 scenes earlier he just said he was gonna take the fight to the rest of the world anyway, and his army can take literally anyone on, so why would he be concerned about this? Like, do you want people to know about you or don't you? What is his motivation? And it also doesn't make any sense that you're saying you're going to attack the one country on earth that everyone and their mother is paying attention to right now. Like, if you attack Wakanda, the US will know about it. France will know about it. Russia, all these other countries will know about it. Surely, right? And they don't just go to war inside of this force field and no one sees it happen or anything like that. Surely that's not what's gonna happen. Nakia ends up killing the fake Atlanteans and saving Riri and Shuri, and now these two civilizations are definitely going to war. Like they weren't gonna do that in the first place because there was no way they were gonna give up Riri to them. So this was just inevitable. And now Namor is pissed off and he's calling to war all of his fishy friends, and they're doing that stupid little symbol, and they have their own little chant, just like the Bombay Wakandans. Because you can't be an isolationist nation and not have your own cool little chant. Now all of our characters are preparing for war back in the Wakandan capital because they just know that the fake Atlanteans are just gonna attack the capital somehow. And look who it is, it's my boy M'Baku. We need more of him in this film. Every time I see him, he's speaking common sense or he's saving someone like an actual hero. But remember when I said they've been preparing for war? The most advanced civilization on the planet that was already invaded earlier on in the film still did nothing to protect their waterways, so now the entire capital is under attack.
I'm surrounded by idiots.
Another example of telling me characters are smart and me seeing everything but I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I am in the camp of loving Namor's wings on his feet, and I don't think it's corny. So the fact that they were able to make him flying around look as good as they did is a small accomplishment that this film was able to pull off. But yes, the entire capital was under attack. You got the mermaid spells happening right now. You have Nakia and bald-headed demon running around saving people. We got the king M'Baku running around saving people and getting his ass whooped by fish legs over here. It's just more of that CGI fight nonsense that people like to see in these big budget Marvel movies. And we're halfway through the film, which means that something dramatic obviously has to happen. But Namor and all those fishy folks said that they were able to pull defenses away from the palace. But if the city is under attack, wouldn't the palace be the most protected place? Like, why is the queen of your nation in here with no guards, no security, just nothing? Surely the most advanced nation in— You know what? I'm just gonna stop trying to make excuses for these retards, man. They're stupid. Holy shit! How much water were in those grenades that they were able to fill up an entire floor of a building? Like, is vibranium able to hold this much water in about 5-ish grenades? This is absolutely crazy to me. Look at this. He just turned that entire bottom floor into a pool. That's crazy. But yes, unfortunately, they do actually kill off Queen Ramonda. Weird how she was able to swim to the top of this floor though, and somehow place Riri as far away from the opening as she did, but somehow still ended up drowning. Like, for Riri to be that far out, Queen Ramonda would have had actively got out of that hole to place her there. So what, did she just place her out there and then jump back in like, I'm gonna go live with my ancestors now and give my daughter her much needed character development? Wakanda forever! And everyone is sad and upset. Oh no, Angela Bassett, the powerhouse actor, is now gone. So now we have this charisma vacuum of an actor, Letitia, right here in her stead. And she doesn't get the grand funeral scene that T'Challa got, even though she was queen long before he was born. It would be more integral to the people of Wakanda, especially in this moment right now. Her death would show the world that Wakanda is in fact unstable, so they should do something grand to show the world otherwise. But regardless, she's dead and we never see the full funeral or anything like that. And M'Baku shows up to give Shuri a much needed talking to, and I'm sorry, I can't stop glazing this character, man. Every time he's on screen, the vibe shifts and he's either spitting facts, telling jokes that are actually funny, or giving characters some wisdom that also makes sense. Wilson Duke is charismatic as hell, while Letitia Wright is anything but. I would have much preferred he took up the mantle of Black Panther and the story revolved around him, because his presence is actually felt and missed, unlike certain other folks that are in this film. But this is another one of the parts in the film where a character is being told about how they're supposed to be feeling and what they're going through, and this is supposed to be a moment where they're supposed to have some kind of self-reflection, even if it's not going all the way there to the through line of the climax of this character arc. there should still be something that should push her forward into understanding what is going on, but that just does not happen. This might be kind of a nitpick, but whatever. If you have the news set and ready to go to tell Bilbo Baggins that Queen Ramonda is dead, that means you would have had to sneak into his house, turn on the TV, which means the volume would have been up, which means he would have had to hear you. So how does he just now find out that you snuck into his house? Whatever, man. Let's just go.
The beads, I had them bugged before you ever even got there. I've been privy to every conversation you've had, including that treasonous call with the Queen. May she rest in peace.
Wait 1 fucking second. So you're telling me that female Nick Fury just left the powerful Wakanda technology at the crime scene in the hopes that Bilbo Baggins happened to look down and pick them up, in the hopes that he knew how to use them to communicate with the Wakandans, in the hopes of finding out what exactly? Like, what does this do for you? We have no idea. You could have taken this entire subplot of Agent Ross and the bitch from Veep right out of the film and nothing would have changed. And I'm fucking sorry. Did she say that she bugged the super advanced Wakandan technology?
How, Sway?
How in the holy hell are you able to do that without the super advanced AI knowing that its systems have been tampered with? How did you even know how to bug this tech with it being so far above anything that you could ever dream of? Did you resurrect Tony Stark from the grave and have him do it? The moment Queen Ramonda would have contacted Bilbo Baggins, who had those beads, the AI would have immediately known something was wrong with its systems, right? Or is that too smart to think about for these room temperature IQ niggas? Like, you cannot give me as an audience member information like smartest person, advanced technology, and then not follow through on those premises. Like, I'm in the mindset of thinking how these characters should be feeling at that point in time. So if they continue to do things that go against the premises you set up, then it's gonna do nothing but take me out of the film and piss me off.
My brother is dead, but it doesn't mean the Black Panther is gone.
I mean, you say that now, but earlier in the film, you yourself said that the Black Panther was gone, which if you think about it, there's no way you would have let that mantle die with your brother if you loved him so much. If anything, you'd be doing everything in your power to make a new Black Panther and take that mantle for yourself so that his legacy doesn't just die and it continues to live on. But yeah, sure, the plot demands that she's angry now and she wants to make the heart-shaped herb again. And I fucking knew it. As soon as he placed that bracelet on her arm, I knew they were going to use that as a way to bring the heart-shaped herb back.
Well, that's just lazy writing.
Like, give me a break. The main villain just so happens to place a bracelet, one his mother gave him over 400 years ago, mind you, on a complete stranger who he also just invited into his crib without her putting out, by the way, and it just so happened to have the exact fiber that they needed for her to 3D print new plants?
Sure, Jan.
Like, think about how stupid this is, because had Namor not placed that bracelet on her arm, but their conversation and everything that followed went the exact same way, then there would be no way she would be able to make a new her, which means there's no new Black Panther. And when Namor comes back and attacks, he just mops the floor with them and then goes on and attacks the rest of the world. So the only reason a new Black Panther is able to be made and Namor even loses is because he gave the first dark piece of ass that he's ever seen his mother's most prized possession.
I'm done. Cut the show.
So remember when I said there was more unintentional racism in this film? So they figure out that the Spanish Mayan villain gains his powers from water, so their plan is to dry off his back.
That's racist!
Hey, don't look at me like that. I'm not the one that wrote this film. And in the efforts of setting up new spin-offs as they were doing at the time, Okoye has that ugly-ass suit that's called the Midnight Angel. Surely we'll see more of this, and they won't just set it up to never mention it again ever in the future. But she did it with the help of the dumbass villain Namor. She has just now made the heart-shaped herb again. And I'm sorry, but if you just created the most powerful plant your country has ever seen, and also something that could have saved your brother's life, then I expect you to have more of a reaction than this. Like, come on, Letitia, do something. They make the heart-shaped herb a drink and they do the little ritual, and in a surprise not surprise, when she takes said herbs, it's not her mother that she sees in the ancestral plane, but instead it's Killmonger.
No way.
Oh my god, our expectations have been subverted, and we totally didn't see this coming from a mile away, because one, we know they had to bring the character back. People still, for some godforsaken reason, think that Killmonger wanting to murder everyone on the planet that wasn't black was the right thing for him to do because he lost his daddy in slavery, boo-hoo. And for two, this entire film has been setting up Shuri's anger about the passing of her brother with the burn the world down line, and now the passing of her mother and her wanting vengeance against Namor. Clearly, she didn't want the herb to bring back the Panther, because if that was the case, she would have done so already. No, she just wants revenge. So of course, no one else was gonna pop up except for Killmonger.
They abandoned me.
They would never do that.
I did everything I was supposed to do. I recreated the herb.
Relax.
Why didn't they come for me?
Just relax.
Can I get some of that too?
Alright, so can we not do that? Like, we literally just had something going here where I'm getting invested and now you're just skipping past it. She just recreated the herb, and instead of her mother, her father, hell, even her brother, she got Killmonger instead. She found out that the ancestral plane is real and all these revelations, so this is the time for some kind of self-reflection. The time to realize that maybe anger and vengeance isn't the way to go or something. It doesn't have to stop the whole story arc that you're going on, but we need to have a moment to dwell on what just happened. We can't just skip past it because now she's like, oh, I'm strong now, cuz, so we'll deal with that shit later. Like, what are we doing?
Superhero landing. She gonna do a superhero landing. Wait. Superhero landing.
Yeah, we get more of this ritualistic fake African tribe bullshit that they love to do.
Let's say this does work. Is murdering him the right solution? If Namor is indeed a god to his people, killing him will risk eternal war.
Again, M'Baku making more sense than everyone else in the room. You kill Namor, you will make him a martyr, and nothing but war would follow that. He's doing nothing but spitting truth to these characters, and the only one with a level head. Shuri in this moment doesn't really care about none of that. The only thing she cares about is being selfish and getting the fight and getting the revenge on Namor because he killed her mother. This is character work that's happening right now, and we're not getting a lot of that in this film, so I guess I'll take it where I can get it. But once she says she just wants revenge, and M'Baku realizes that he can't get in the way of an angry black woman, so he just nods his head along, and then we go about our business. But we didn't even talk about the plan. The plan is to draw Namor and his forces out at sea to engage in combat. The very place they just established earlier makes him stronger. They couldn't even go toe-to-toe with him or the blue niggas when they were on their own soil. So what makes you think fighting them in the water will be the better solution? Smartest characters on the planet. Again, we got more angry Shuri that's going on, and she's going down the path that T'Challa went down during Civil War.
If you go to war for vengeance, it will not feel the whole left from her loss, and it will consume you.
It already has.
Vengeance is starting to consume her, and she just wants to fight some Mexicans, bro. She's trying to, ready to go. It's time to go blow to blow. Race war! Race war! Wait, so to draw Namor out, they made another vibranium detector? Man, Riri is a problem for them. If she's able to just whip this up in under a week, surely they're not just gonna let the biggest threat to their country just walk away scot-free, right? Right?
Wrong!
And here's more contradictions to Namor's "don't tell anybody about me" bullshit, because it looks like all that secretive stuff is really out of the window. They just all in one group ganged up on one vibranium detector without scouting the area or anything like they did earlier on in the movie when they attacked that ship. Surely it's not so that we have them all gathered up. Oh, it's so that we have them all gathered up so they can be hit with the sonic beam. Oh, all right, got it. I forgot. Characters have to be stupid for plot to move. My bad. Then what proceeds is the weakest Mbambe I've ever heard. Like, if this is supposed to make me ready for war, it doesn't. Instead, it makes me feel like you're a bad theater actor playing tough. But this is MCU movie number 30, so we all know how this is about to go down. It's about to be a big CGI cluster. What is that? This bad Power Ranger spin-off ass suit Riri got on, bro. Are you kidding me? She even indented cornrows into that motherfucker, man. This is seriously an ugly suit. She looks like the DEI version of Eve from WALL-E. This zoomed out version of the Iron Man suit UI is also god-awful, just overall bad. Like, had that chopper landed 2 feet lower, the entire army would have just been wiped out completely. Like, there are ways you can do these kind of things and make them cool that don't immediately make me go as an audience member. Well, that was super convenient. It wasn't 2 feet lower. But let's finish watching our CGI fight scene where the previously weak-ass characters are able to fight off these fake-ass Atlanteans in their own turf. And Riri is somehow faster than Fishman, and they capture him in their racial stereotype ship.
He's breathing air and getting oxygen from the water on his skin. If we could find a way to dry his ass out, he won't be as strong.
That's crazy!
Now, I hate to do this for the 80th time it feels like, but this is the smartest civilization on the planet. Here momentarily you see this lady has a scanner to be able to see what's going on with the ship they're on. So when this fake ass Atlantean who was somehow strong enough to push through the sonic emitter starts attacking said emitter, there would be some kind of sensors or alarms or something going off showing the other lady that this is being attacked. Right? Right?
Wrong!
Holy shit! What kind of water are they putting in those grenades? It might just be filled up with Asmongold bath water when he decides to shower after 3 weeks. And one grenade that just blows up the sonic emitter is strong enough to stop the entire ship? Well, I mean, if it's water from the Roach King, then it'd probably do something like that.
Panther, the sea leopard has lost power and they are experiencing significant casualties.
Okoye!
Panther!
Hambi!
Wait, why are 2 of your best warriors sitting on standby just waiting for shit to go wrong?
That was the plan.
Not a great plan.
You would never do that. You would have them on the front lines from the beginning of the fight to stop it from even getting to this point. Hell, you see they're even able to go underwater, so the before mentioned fake Atlantean that was attacking the sonic emitter would have been dealt with if this bitch was doing her job, then roared Okoye and other bald woman what was going on. Hell, even Riri is able to go underwater, so why didn't you send her big nose ass in there too? My god, I feel like I'm the only one using my fucking logic here. Oh right, I forgot. They need a dramatic entrance for these ugly ass suits to set up the spin-off show that's definitely totally still happening. But wait, on the side note, isn't it crazy that the one character who can actually be interesting and have a full-length show with a great actress didn't get her show off the ground, but we got fucking Ironheart and Echo instead?
What's the damage?
Catastrophic. His spear is made of raw vibranium. The ship could explode at any second.
What I don't understand is why the smart-ass Shuri wasn't in there fighting him the entire time to drain his stamina as they're drying off his wet back. You know that he has vibranium on him and he has a vibranium spear. So why would you even give him the opportunity to try to stop something here? That doesn't make any sense. And the previously ass-kicking fake Atlanteans are getting dealt with on their own home turf so that we can show off our cast of characters engaging in some cool fight scene action to grab the attention of the TikTok kids. But I will give the movie some credit here with the fight scene between Shuri and Namor when they don't keep cutting in between it, showing the other fight scene in the ocean. It is pretty solid. It does have some weight, and you can tell there is a little bit of emotion being emitted through this fight scene. But speaking about the other fight, we get our rematch with Okoye and Big Blue nigga, whose name I totally forgot, and we'll just throw it on the screen right here so that she can get her comeuppance. And right when they're about to finish it, they do that stupid ass nanotech helmet thing where they just have to show you the actor's face for one split second just to have them put the helmet right back on. This is a legit nitpick that I have, but I don't care. It's mad annoying when these companies think we give two shits to see the actors' faces when they're delivering lines in costume. You can still emote and act while having a helmet or mask on, and we don't need to see their face pop up every few seconds with the nanotech or zoomed into the helmet view. Stop doing that shit. Seriously. But wait, how did Okoye beat him by just kicking him back into the ocean where he could just get strong again and come back for round 3?
I don't know.
I didn't notice it as I was watching the film, but as I'm looking it back, this suit is like really ugly and her body proportion just does not look right in it. She's super flat chested. Call me misogynist or, you know, a gooner or whatever you want. I want my characters to look good when I'm looking at it. Male and female, by the way, that's not gay. People like attractiveness in characters. So when I look at this suit, it's just like, she looks like a little girl. It just doesn't look right. But regardless, throughout the fight, her and Namor are going back and forth, and she's starting to get the upper hand until Namor takes that vibranium spear and shoves it right where her vital organs are. And y'all need to understand that Letitia Wright is about 90 pounds soaking wet, and she just got stabbed with a vibranium spear. That girl is dead. Heart-shaped herb or vibranium suit or whatever, you're done for. He just penetrated all of your most vital organs. There's no way you're gonna, oh no, she could just do a front flip over him. All right, cool, my bad. I wasn't familiar with your game, Shuri. And ladies and gentlemen, this is when we get to my favorite part of the film, because there has been a lot of unintentional racisms that's been going on throughout this entire script. But right now, our Mayan, aka Mexican supervillain, is about to be defeated by the black female superhero by getting his wet back burnt to a crisp.
That's gotta be racist. There's no way.
The unintentional racism, it just makes me giddy because it's like, dude, did you not think this through at all? Like, maybe it's my fault for being raised in the crucible of Call of Duty, Halo, and Gears lobbies as a kid, but racist jokes genuinely are hilarious to me if done right. And the fact that they did these so unintentionally, you just can't make this up. It's like something a group of people would come up with if they were just spitballing dumb ideas in a Discord call to try to be funny. Hey, you know that Mexican supervillain that we have? His superpowers come from water, so what if we dry off his bag? That's a fucking racist joke, and they made that in a multi-million-dollar MCU Disney production. Don't ever let these people try to virtue to you like they care about your superficiality. They truly do not.
Shuri, show him who you are.
It's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for him.
Vengeance has consumed us. We cannot let it consume our people.
Oh my God, bro. Oh, hell no, man. What the fuck, man? Get your ass on.
But this part right here really just rubs me the wrong way, because what's the trigger now to give her this moment of self-reflection that vengeance isn't the answer? Multiple characters have told her that this isn't the right path to go down and that vengeance will consume her. Hell, again, we already did this exact same storyline with T'Challa in Civil War. So you'd think that that lesson would have been ingrained into her, since her big brother is someone that she looks up to the most in this world and she idolizes him. So if she didn't realize that this wasn't it after killing multiple fake Atlanteans moments earlier, how is she deciding in this exact moment that this isn't who she is. It's not like she saw the battle taking place and watched her people start to die, or Namor said something that reminded her of her mother, her father, or her brother. The flashback we just got is her saying to Killmonger, of all people, that she will have Namor begging for mercy. So she's quite literally all in on going for vengeance. But because there's no actual way to stop this conflict, the writers just go, now is the time for her to realize what's wrong and have Angela Bassett speak to her from the ancestral plane.
Well, that's just lazy writing.
You set this moment up at least 3 different times with triggers that can make this character arc happen. But here at the very end with no emotional prompt, it just happens just because?
You'd and your people will live.
Shut up, silly woman.
Her going vengeance has consumed us. We can't let it consume our people. Just doesn't make sense in this instance where there's no prompt to do so. Hell, you just told Nakia moments earlier before y'all went to war that vengeance already consumed you. So you already understood that you were doing the wrong thing and still chose to do it anyway. So why in this moment are you having a change of heart? It doesn't make any sense. Like doing a revenge story where you kill a bunch of people just to spare the one person you swore to kill will never not piss me off. It's like The Last of Us 2 where you kill hundreds of people as Ellie just to get the trans Brock Lesnar and let her live. Like, what's the point of the killing if you're not gonna follow through? That should do more harm to your mind and your spirit than anything else, if you ask me. But of course, these two are oppressed people, even though they're the literal strongest civilizations on the planet. So they have to stand tall together and they have to come to some kind of resolution. That's the underlining tone for all of Ryan Coogler's films, by the way. There always has to be some kind of oppressive angle. No matter how good the film is, you always have to throw that in. And in this instance, it just doesn't work. But yeah, our characters come back together for a stand tall moment. The fake Atlanteans go back home. The Wakandans go back home. And of course, these characters are gay right here because of course they are. The heart-shaped herb is back in a random jungle instead of being locked up in one of their advanced buildings under constant protection. So anyone can and most likely will just take the herb for themselves to become the Black Panther. Or you might get a repeat of somebody burning it down because they don't want any more Black Panthers. And of course, the one person smart enough to help the governments of the world find more vibranium is allowed to just leave the country so that when she gets back home, she could either get kidnapped or go and work for them. Very smart of you, Shuri, to let her leave. And as we see later on in her own series, she doesn't even keep tabs on Riri or send her back with some money so that she doesn't have to keep nickel and diamond people, so she doesn't fall into maybe selling the idea of a vibranium detector to someone else. So you're not even really protecting your country as much as you think you are. But hey, you get to keep the Power Ranger suit, so I guess everything is all good with you. You're still doing trial by combat for the throne. Like, yeah, that's so smart, Wakandans. That definitely didn't backfire the last time that you did this. And my boy M'Baku shows up ready to throw down. It looks like they did something smart. They made the one character who throughout this entire film has been the voice of reason, the only charismatic one out of the entire cast, and one of the only ones trying to be an actual hero when things are going down, the King of Wakanda. Good job. You did one thing right and about 100 things wrong. But then we cut to Namor painting his battle against the Black Panther as he's giving some bullshit speech about how he yielded because he just wants an alliance with Wakanda to fight the surface world. No, you fucking don't, you pointy ear bastard. You just infiltrated their kingdom, killed their queen, threatened to come back and fight them, and then some. And then when you got your ass whooped, you got talked down about a sob story about vengeance, and then put your white flag up because you didn't want to die. Let's stop pretending like this was a part of your grand plan for Telecon or something like that. And oh yeah, Okoye springs Bilbo Baggins from his prison transport, setting up the Disney Plus show that's definitely still happening and totally not canceled. And again, she calls him a colonizer colonizer and change when historically your continent has had more to do with that than anyone else and still has slaves on there to this day. But oh yeah, he's a colonizer because he's white, and that just means he's inferior to you.
Dora Milaje have jurisdiction wherever the Dora Milaje find themselves to be.
Shut up, bitch!
And now it's time for some more of that good old-fashioned emotional manipulation. Shuri finally decides that after achieving all of her wishes with her inventions, then now is the time for her to let go of her brother and move on from his death like her mother wanted her to do. They do the whole wind thing she was talking about earlier on in the film and gives us flashes of them together to pull at your heartstrings because Chadwick Boseman is gone from us. And I get it, it's a grieving process not just for this character, but for everyone involved in the production as well, because everyone was close with Chadwick and his passing was sad. And that's why I can't really get into it because I see straight through it. You're using elements not related to the film to get a cheap emotional resonance out of me, and I'm not okay with that. But oh yeah, as the film ends, we see that T'Challa had a bastard out of wedlock that he kept hidden from his sister that he loves so much. Yeah, not beating the baby mama stereotypes there, Marvel. Not very woke of you.
It's done. It's over now.
But we've done a lot of talking, and all in all, we have to come to the conclusion that this film is so mind-numbingly stupid. Every character they try to present to us as smart does the dumbest things imaginable. The motivations for our main villain make no sense given the history of his people and what they did during that time. Shuri's revenge is bad storyline being triggered by absolutely nothing when we had multiple times for this to happen makes no sense. The side characters are non-interesting, and some of them you don't even remember their names. There's an entire storyline with Bilbo Baggins that could have been completely taken out of the film and nothing would have changed. Riri is a non-character and a plot device that could have been swapped out with a literal device and nothing much else about the story would have changed for real. It's a fake deep don't let grief and vengeance consume you storyline that fails at every point, and when they actually do start to move somewhere in the emotional department, they just stop so the rest of the plot can happen to build up to a revelation Shuri should have had 30 minutes prior. Every time we think about something with this film, for every one positive thing, there are about 10 to 20 negatives that you can call out. Again, it took me 2 days to finish watching this film because I have 35 pages of notes here because this film is dumb. There's no amount of good cinematography, an excellent score by Ludwig Göransson, a tremendous powerhouse performance by Angela Bassett that honestly she should have got the Oscar over Freaky Friday over here, and semi-decent fight scenes that could cover up for how nonsensically stupid this story is and the characters are. It's a huge step down from film 1 to 2, and Black Panther 2018 isn't even one of the best films ever, but it is a decent stab where when you watch it, the actions that the characters are making make sense in the world that they're in. But when you watch this, everything contradicts everything else, and the smart characters they're telling us are smart are stupid. And this wasn't even the first instance of the fall of the MCU, but it was a damn good highlight of it. Because you also had movies prior that you could just tell were gonna be stinkers by the trailers alone, but these trailers when this movie was coming out were excellent. Made you think you were going to be in the second coming of the MCU. We were finally going to be back after all that COVID slop that we had to eat. But then the movie came out and it's not just subpar, it is below subpar. I wouldn't watch this again unless I was being tortured for information, and even at that point I'd rather just Minecraft myself. This movie is like fancy restaurant food that looks pretty on the surface. They got all these intricate delicacies and stuff around it, but at the end of the day, it's just fucking chicken, bro. This movie is shit from a pretty butt.
My disappointment is immeasurable, and my day is ruined.
And that's all I have to say about Black Panther emotional manipulation. My God, we have been going on for quite a long time. This might be the longest video I've ever made, but I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I very much enjoy doing this. This is fun for me. It's cathartic, you know, it keeps my mind going, and I like crapping on crappy products as much as I like praising good products. There are other MCU movies and things like that we're going to be talking about, and I might just start doing a series on all the things I missed, because I am indeed a late bloomer when it comes to this YouTube game, as I said before. If you made it all the way here to the end, I love you, because that's crazy that you stayed this entire video and watched me rant about this god-awful movie. Thank you so much if you did so. And if you didn't and you just skipped right here to the end, I appreciate you as well. But I need to know down below, do you agree with what I'm saying? Do you disagree? Or are you indifferent and don't give a shit? Put it in the comments and we'll talk about it, because I love to engage in the comments. But until next time, it's been your boy Kata. Please be safe, be well, please wash your face, brush your teeth, get behind that neck and right here, because you know most people don't wash right there and it really stinks. It smells like baby necks. But yeah, I'll see you guys on the next video, man. Peace out.